Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Good morning. Oh, forgot to pull my chat over to my other screen here. So I'm going to be looking funny going back and forth for a second. Morning. Chris, Max, David, Shadow, Vegas, Munch, Greasy. How y'all doing? Did everybody survive CPI Day? All right. Let's see what we have going on here today. We are going to go to, not much changed on the weekly chart, so I'm not going to start there. But let's go to the daily here. So for the daily chart, still in this messy area. Like, can we please expand somewhere, anywhere? So here's today. Here's yesterday, another inside day and relatively indecisive day. We are pushing down. We are below yesterday's low. We are at the lower half, the discount of last week's range. But what I am, so if we close down today, we'll have a volume imbalance there. But so we'll see if we want to rebalance that, do an immediate rebalance today or not. But if we come down, all I'm really looking at now at the daily chart is I do have this discount wick marked out here in the 4 quadrants. So see how that plays out. Not much. The daily hasn't been very telling lately. The 4-hour, kind of the same. Like, I don't have much. Obviously, we have the big new week opening gap there. We pushed up. We did come down and almost invert this 4-hour BISI here, but we didn't yet. So I'm watching that, and then we do have this SIBI here, but we did create an inversion. Well, no, because you got to include the volume mouse. So we didn't invert it yet, but we have traded back into it. So I'm kind of just watching this area where we are now to see where we come out of it. The 1 hour, kind of the same thing. We have this imbalance here. We traded up into it. And then we have this one right here that we're in now. So just got to kind of see what we do at the open. I'm going to go to the 15-minute here. Now, what I was saying yesterday, if y'all remember, let's zoom out here. Actually, you can't see that. There we go. Don't worry about seeing details here. Remember yesterday I talked about a potential dealing range, big dealing range up here and here. And then I measured the midpoint equilibrium of it. And I said, well, we have an equilibrium here. It's a huge dealing range. It's just something to kind of keep an eye out for. So we are pulling back. So if I do look at that, 608.75 right here is equilibrium of this entire dealing range. And then remember, I measured this big gap to see how much higher it could go if that's equilibrium. But we have come back down to here. So I will keep this dealing range. So 608.75, I would just kind of like maybe have an eye on it just in case. 608.75. So I'm going to lock that in there just to keep an eye on that. Doctor equal. I mean, dealing range equilibrium. I'm just going to put that there just in case. So anyways, zooming in here, market's about to open. There's not much on the 15-minute either. Here's the London range. I did mark this as a buy-side liquidity up here just to have something because we did take out these relative equal highs right here. So that's kind of our buy-side liquidity. We do have this imbalance here, which is also this new day opening gap. Coming down to the short side, there's not really relative equal lows or anything that I'm eyeing that we have to go get. We did use this 15-minute SIBI here to continue pushing down. We do have this one here, and we do have a little bit of sell side liquidity in here, and then the Asia low. So we'll see what we do when we open. If we come back here and go down to sell side liquidity, or if we open, go takes this sell side liquidity and come back up. I'm just going to have to kind of play the waiting game today and see what we do. And 5-minute chart here. Zoom out. We have the midnight opening below us, 8:30 opening up here. Go to the 1 minute. Let's see if we have, let's check this opening range gap here. We got a nice opening range gap right there. Boom. All right. So let's see what we do here. We've dropped. I mean, I'm leaning a little bit more towards. So my key areas now for me today is basically looking at if we get past this 15-minute BISI down here and take this sell side liquidity Asia low, I want to see, kind of like yesterday, do we stay below it and continue down? Are we going to be bearish? Or up here, we have previous day low, the 15-minute fair value gap that I have there, and then we have this 1 hour as well with the new day opening gap, buy side liquidity, all that good stuff. So these two areas are pretty much my key areas. And not saying that like I need one of them to get taken out or vice versa, but that would kind of be ideal because right now I don't really have a really strong bias. If anything, I do kind of feel like we're going to push lower. But once we take this area, then you got to be careful of it turning around because I mean, overall, still have to be neutral because the daily is not really showing me much. And right here, I am going to be curious on this 4 hour if we are going to displace lower or not. And then also the 15-minute here because, you know, like I say, we came down, we pulled up here, took those relative equal lows, displaced with this fair value gap, used it, and we are pushing down. It may just continue lower. So we'll see. We shall see. How's everybody doing? You don't want to talk about CPI? Yeah. Cool. TKL. I don't know what the rest of it is, but hey, welcome. Welcome in. Cool tickle. Morning, Will. Tony. Nice. Vegas, you got a 250K funded. Did you go with end of day? Or did you, first of all, did you go with Apex? And then did you go with end of day or intraday trailing? Curious. The end of day accounts have been like flying off the shelves in an unlimited fashion. There's no news today. However, we do have a Fed speaker at 11 a.m. So be cautious of that. You like end of day, Shadow? Yeah, I like end of day too. I mean, I'm good with either, but okay. So because we did hit, so we got to watch here though, because I'm not. We took London low. We hit this 15-minute fair value gap. And like I said, I don't need it to go all the way down to that sell side liquidity. We have this 15-minute fair value gap. We could open, hit that, and go up to this buy side liquidity and go up to this new day opening gap. This could be a bullish order block right here. We could have a bullish breaker happening here where we have a low, high, lower low, higher high. So we could be setting up to go long, but, you know, we have these imbalances here, so you got to watch out. Oh, I was analyzing some stuff. These mean nothing here. I was analyzing some stuff earlier. So we will get this BISI. And I want to talk about a couple things I was thinking of as well. And then this guy right here. So Will and I have been talking a lot, and we've noticed in high resistance days, like we've been having lately, order blocks are actually very key. We're noticing, let me get rid of that one too, that, and you probably pay attention to this, like fair value gaps like this. A lot of times they're pulling back and it's overshooting. Like maybe the bodies are respecting, but it's overshooting with wicks into the order block if there's an order block below it, and tagging that order block before it goes. And then, like, let's say leaving another fair value gap, overshooting it, tagging order blocks, and keep going. So pay attention to that. Like, that could be something that if you are good at recognizing or do recognize that, hey, this is a high resistance day, which we've had a lot of them lately, then maybe waiting to see if it tags an order block, or at least having your stop in a position where you can withstand a pullback to the order block, one or the other. Just an idea. So we do have this BISI here as well. Now, like I said, you got to be careful because we have a 5-minute SIBI right here. We have these fair value gaps, and I'm not really long or short, but I do like this bullish breaker. But we'll see. And then another thing, so basically I reduced my sizing. I don't know if you can tell here, but oh no, you can't see my contract sizing, but I reduced my sizing a little bit. And the reason is because here's another couple thoughts, food for thought. Well, hold on, let's see, because I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to go long yet because of these imbalances. However, when did this happen? Oh, this is pre-market. However, I do think there's a high probability that we do go long too. At least up into this 15-minute, because we still haven't closed that opening range gap yet. We haven't hit the midpoint of that opening range gap, so just watching this just in case. Going long here. It's a little early, but I think we are going to come up to that opening range gap, the midpoint at least. Previous day low. So anyways, I reduced my contract that way because there's a lot of times that I'm getting the targets right and I'm just like, man, I'm getting knocked out. Like, and it's going to where I'm thinking it's going to go. So my stop has always been based on the 1-minute chart, and we just got to get through this little SIBI here and 5-minute SIBI, which I think we will, but because the makings are looking like we are going to go up there. But anyways, so what I wanted to do is reduce my sizing a little bit so I can have my stop where I really need my stop. And I'm not really going to use my stop based on the 15-second. I'm going to put my stop where I kind of like how I used to read the market, but I'm still going to use the 15-second for my confirmation to get in the trade, because that is very key for me. A lot of time, yeah, and I might have jumped the gun on this one. But, yeah, I think I jumped the gun a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see. Like, it could come back down to this order block. I think we are going to go up. So, we'll see what happens here. But anyways, my point is, is that I want to give my stop the chance. So I reduce my sizing. And I'm still using the 15-second confirmation to get in, because to me that is very key. The confirmation to get in. So today I kind of jumped the gun a little bit though. I should have waited a little bit to see how the market is going to play out and what kind of day it's going to be. But I just like the makings of this. I could be wrong. It could just come down and, you know, keep going lower. But I just like the way it's looking. It's going to be, I mean, it's going to hesitate here because that 5-minute, what's it called? Sibby there. But we'll see. It could come back down to this order block. So hopefully I didn't jump the gun. But that's kind of my thoughts, though, is that I want to give I reduce my size. That way I can give the trade a chance. However, today, it looks like I did jump the gun a little bit today. I should have waited until at least we cleared this area up here, but all good. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't come below this order block. Yeah, I jumped the gun. It's hitting the order block. Let's see if it holds. And I don't want to see a Bissy in here. So that's why I wanted my stop below the order block. But we'll see. I'm not liking this that much anymore. And I should have probably waited. But yeah, I'm going to get tagged here. I'm still going to lose a lot less than what I have been because I reduced my contract. But I should have waited for sure. We'll see. I mean, it still could go up, but I should have waited until we at least cleared these imbalances. A little impatient there. Should have waited to clear these imbalances or see if we're going to come down first because we're kind of in the middle. I just really liked the way this was looking. But I know if y'all know I don't like, y'all know I don't like taking trades that early either. So that was a mistake on my part. Jumped in too early. Didn't give it the chance. And then you can see the wicks right here. I mean, it's very obvious that it was going to lose. So now we got the inversions, right? We got the inversions here. I really think we're going to go take this sell side liquidity. We'll see if this low stays protected or not. And because I was pretty neutral in the beginning here, like I should have definitely waited. So, oh well. Because I could see it going either way. Now we may get I might get it. Oh crap! I might get a short here. Yeah, I'm gonna short this inversion. See if we can actually get down here. We got the Sibby. I don't have a lot of room for it to pull back on me though. So hopefully it just goes. Hopefully it's not high resistance in the morning here. I don't want to see it come back above that inversion and this Sibby. But it's been high resistance lately, so it very well could be. See, and I should have waited, but oh well. All good. Now, see if we can get past this 15-minute fair value gap here. If we could take these lows and give me some more displacement, then I can move to break even. And I'm still only risking the same max amount that I normally risk. So even though I took an extra trade here, and because we're still in this 15 minutes fair value gap, I don't want to move to break even too quick because it could pull back. Hitting midnight open. Add in a little bit there. Cover my stop. Man, that got very close. See if he can get to it and through it. Took out one contract. Took out both. All right, we're good to go. Made a little money on that. Not a whole lot because I had to recover my impulse, my bad. Now, come on. Why is it? That's interesting. One account got negative there. Huh. Well, that sucks. I hope there's not a hedge going on there. Morning, Corey. All right. Well, that was nice, but I don't know why. So y'all can see that's why I don't like to jump the gun. Man, why is that? Why did that one account go negative? That is stupid. Let me see. Let me check my rhythmic to see if it's actually negative. What number is that? 91. Where's my P&L? Yeah, 91 is actually really negative in rhythmic, so that's lovely. How the heck did that happen? Morning, cream cheese. All right, so that was a nice trade, though. Too bad I took the loss up front because that would have been a really nice trade because I got in short 772, out 697. So that's what, almost 80. That's like what, 80 points or something? Where is it? 772, 75. Got out my last contract at 697, wherever that is. Yeah, 70, almost 75 points there. So that was nice. However, and then I added in. See, that's the thing. I don't know. Maybe something happened when I added in. Because, see, I added in at 768. Huh. I thought I added in lower. Oh, no. Oh, no, I did. I'm looking at this wrong. I shorted at 768. Then I shorted again. I added in at 724. One contract out at 708. The next one out at 697. But I guess somewhere in here, maybe the stupid copier reversed something on that last Last entry there. I bet you that's what happened. Stupid freaking copier. Hopefully it doesn't get hit for a hedge. God dog it. And let me pull up my NQ chart so I can check MNQ or my ninja chart for my PA. Where did it go? Okay, that's weird. Disappeared. All right. Oh, there it is. That was a nice trade. Man. Ugh. See, but this goes into the journal. This is what goes into the journal. I knew it could go long or short, and I knew, like, I didn't have a bias whichever way, but I knew both sides looked good. And I got caught up in this initial, and that's why I don't like to take a trade within like the first 15 minutes usually. But I just got caught up in this, hitting that 15-minute fair value gap and this little bullish breaker. And not that I didn't, like, I know these imbalances were there in that 5-minute, but I just jumped the gun thinking it'll go through. So had I waited, I would have taken just only this short, and it would have been a really nice day. I mean, it's still a good day. I'm not complaining. Like, I need it. But at the same time, it could have been a really nice day. So let's see what happened here on this copier, because that's annoying. 91. That's your life? Yeah. All right, let's see what happened here on this MNQ. Because that's really annoying. Okay, so this was the first trade. Second trade in at 768. Oh, maybe I wasn't flat from the first trade. Okay, 3 in. Okay, 3 out here. Oh, it didn't fill me. So when I went short, it only filled me one contract. And then I went short, added in down here, and it filled me because I'm trading 3 micros on this account, this PA. So now I'm in with 4. So when I exited, it would have tried to exit 6. I bet you it reversed it somewhere and caused a small loss. All I can hope for is that it doesn't get mistaken for a hedge. That's freaking annoying. This is the 1 minute. I don't think it will because, I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. Green is green, baby. Green is green. Anyway, so my logic is, I don't know. I hope what I was kind of like rambling made a little bit of sense. Because I know tight stop losses have hurt me in the past. But, and it's not just that, you want to have like this huge stop or anything. I still want my risk reward to be good. But it's just so many times, if I put my stop too close, then, especially lately. So like when I first started doing this last year, when I first started using the 15-second and using the tighter stops and all that, we weren't really in a high resistant market. Like it would come up and respect fair value gap and just take off from there. So a lot of times you just put your stop up in that fair value gap or where the 15-second was, and you're good. Unless you're just completely wrong on the trade. But lately, look here. Look, even here. Look at every day. I'm telling y'all, look. Will and I have talked about this a lot. Look at this fair value gap. I mean, look at this. The bodies are respecting, but look at the wick. Look how high the wick comes up into here, right? Into these series of up-close candles right here. Like, you know, this, if you were trading this, you might have gotten, well, no, probably not, because it displaced after. But, you know, you just got to be careful, is what I'm saying. and I really feel like, because I'm getting, like, the market itself, I mean, y'all see it almost every day. I'm calling out these targets, and it's going there. And then, so you would think I should be having like great days and great months. And that's not the case. It's been rough. It's been rough. And that's because like I'm taking trades in these areas and my stop is somewhere and is pulling up and tagging my stop, overshooting, and then continuing and eventually hitting my target. And it's a little frustrating. I'm not going to lie. It's like, God dog it. Like I'm reading perfect. I'm hitting the targets perfect. Look, we're getting to Dr. Equal. But I'm taking losses. And I'm not like, I'm doing this. Like, here's like, let's say my break even for my accounts. Lately, I'm doing this. Whoa, whoa. Like, I'm not just like, my equity curve is not looking like this. Right? Like, that's what you want your equity curve to look like. An upward trend. Mine is like this. It's like I'm not getting ahead. I'm not really like doing bad. I'm just pretty much break even. And it's like becoming annoying, especially whenever I'm getting pretty much everything right every day. So your entry model told you sell at 791, but you froze. Yeah, and see, that's why I reduced my contract for today. And that's my thought process is I want to reduce my contract. That way I can sustain some of these pullbacks and have my stop, not just a random, because I used to have my stop when I was basing it on the 1 minute, like here, if I shorted here where I shorted, my stop would be up here. Like normally my stop should be up here at the swing high and give this allowable space to trade before displacing lower. But I can't do that if I'm only risking, you know, if I don't lower my contracts or if I'm just going based on the 15-second chart, then I wouldn't have my stop up there. So you know, so I got to reduce my sizing. That way I can give it what I need to give it. And then if I am wrong and it comes up here, then, hey, I just got to accept it. And by then the morning's over. And that's why I used to trade the 1 minute. I mean, take one trade for sure a day. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that, reduce my size, make sure. And then my second thought process is I can potentially add in as long as enough room has gone by to where there's another PD array that when I enter in, my average entry will still be behind that PD array after it's been used. So that's my thought. So that way I can pretty much either hit target or have my stop at break even with the new averaged entry. I don't want to go overkill on the adding in because the thing is you can get like too excited about that and add in when you're not supposed to. And I tried that in the past, and that's pretty much what happened to me. Is I added in, I got too excited, like, oh, I want to add in. So I really don't want to have a strategy of always adding in. I just want to only add in if and when it makes sense. I don't want to base my risk model on having to add in. I just want to add in for extra if it makes sense. David, nothing more aggravated than software problems. It's the number. Oh, 100%. That is the number one trigger for me. Software tech issues, because you could be doing everything. That's what happened to me earlier in this year when I blew my accounts. You could do everything right, trade right, and lose or blow accounts. And it's just like, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. And I mean, you know, you could try to fix it, obviously, but in the moment, there's nothing you could do about it. And it's just terrible. It's like, you know what? Just terrible, yeah. Because like I did everything right. You don't deserve to lose. So then you go and try to make it up. And then you lose when you make it up. Then you get mad for trying to lose or trying to make up that loss. And then that's it. Spiral from there. Yeah, Chris, we know you're the king of tech issues. That's for sure. Copiers suck sometimes. Copiers do suck a lot of times, to be honest. And look at this. Pay attention to this, y'all. We have some imbalances here, right? We have this fair value gap, this one. But also, look right here. Look at these series of up close candles before displacing lower. Like, it's overshooting so much. Now, maybe it does want to turn around now that it ran all this sell side liquidity. Maybe not. Here's that equilibrium down here at 604, 608.75. I would not be surprised if it does come down and tag that. But, yeah. Yeah, Max. The reason, the biggest reason, in my opinion, that I have found that people hesitate and why I've hesitated in the past, two reasons really. If you're on a losing streak, then it could be very easy to hesitate. The other reason is the risk management, accepting the probabilities and the risk management. And what I mean by that is if I know my win rate is 60%, 70%. On the flip side, I have to know I'm going to lose 30 to 40% of the time. And that's what I was talking about the other day. Zooming out. Not getting too wrapped up in one day. And I really feel like the hesitation comes from, like, obviously not wanting to lose. I think. Like, clicking the button, like, is this right? Is it going to go? I don't want to take a loss. Like, the reason why, in my opinion, the biggest reason why people hesitate is the fear of loss. You don't want to take a loss. But if you accept, like, really, really drill that down, not saying that you don't accept it, but sometimes it's easy to forget that, hey, we're playing a probabilities game. So I have to accept 30 to 40% or whatever your number is going to lose. And then from that, I need to know that I'm within an acceptable loss amount, whether it's 200 a day, 100 a day, 300 a day, and convert that to points, 10 points a day, 20 points a day. So when you do that, I feel like it's like, okay, I know I can lose 15 days in a row, 10 days in a row, and my account is safe. So if you mix in wins with that, like, you should really know that, like, hey, I should be able to sustain like a month or two with these probabilities. Now, I do always, if I've lost 3, 4, 5 times in a row, I mean, there's times I got to hit the drawing board where I'm like, you know what, I got to go back to the drawing board and figure out what's going on. That's what I've been, even though I haven't been like that bad lately, I'm getting some wins, but it's just been a rough year, to be honest, for me. And so I'm like, I do need to take a look a little bit and see if there's any fine-tuning or adjustments. I will never change how I read the market, because how I read the market, in my opinion, I am super happy with it. But there's always some little tweaks and adjustments you could be doing. So like this could be a mitigation point right here as well. So I'd be curious, like this low right here, see how we came back up and we, retested it, and supports acting like resistance, retail logic, right? But this could be a mitigation. Bigger swing traders or hedge funds or whatever, if they're long from this area up here and we come back to it, that's where you mitigate your trade, you get out. And then if that's the case, we should see if we're going to continue to be bearish, some inversions of this here could be a higher time frame order block and then continue to drop. I'm not convinced of that yet, but just saying possibilities there. Reading it is key. How you play that story out is the tweak of entry. We all do. Exactly, Will. And there's so many ways you can do it. And there's no wrong way. You know, no matter how you trade it, whatever is right for you is right for you. But reading the market, man, that is the number one. And if you watch ICT's videos, that's his goal, like his biggest goal on his older videos. I haven't watched any of his newer ones, but his older videos for sure. Like framework. And framework tells you what the market should be doing. And avoiding the days that the framework, like the days that I don't trade, that could be manipulated and the days that might not work. Avoiding those days, getting the framework right. And once you see it over and over and over, like, man, I got it. It's doing what I think it should do. It's going to where I think it should go. Like, it's happening over and over and over. Now all you got to do is just tweak your entry. Figure out how you want your entry. How do you want to handle your stops? And that's it from there. And, you know, I've done it. Like, I don't think I'll ever get away from using the 15-second confirmation, because that to me is one of the biggest. Now, how I manage my stop and all that, you know, I might manage that a little bit, but the 15-second, the confirmation, because there's been always so many times in the past where I'm like, you know, it goes into it, I immediately short, and then maybe it pulls back harder, or maybe it goes somewhere else, and I'm like, ooh, what did I miss? So, or maybe the market just didn't work the way, you know, I thought it was, or it should. Maybe it's just a bad market, whatever. But the 15-second confirmation has definitely helped my entry for sure. Because there's been many times in the past where I'm like, if it hits this fair value gap, I want to wait. I don't want to enter immediately. Like, I've said that if you go back and watch streams. Like, I don't want to immediately short this. I want to see what it does there. And if it doesn't, and if it holds, then I'll go. But it was always subjective to me. Like, what do I consider a hold? Like, just because it, like, paused here for a few seconds? Because I don't want to wait until it goes all the way back down here. So back whenever I would do that, it would just kind of be in here a little bit. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And then it'd pop up. I'm like, crap. So that 15-second confirmation, man, that is golden for me. However, I do think I'm going to base my stop on what I'm reading on the 1 minute, because whenever I've been right, that's been great. And with this, the nature of the market lately, with these wicks overshooting stuff, like, you know, I really think for me, it's going to help me give my stop a little bit more based on the 1 minute and just reduce my sizing some. So we'll see. I'm still going to monitor it. And like I said, I'll be here tomorrow, but all next week I'm not streaming. I'll be out of town. So I'm going to do a lot of like chart review, looking back, looking over my trades, seeing, you know, doing a lot of analysis. And if you don't do that for yourself, like, I would highly recommend, like, you need to do that. To me, that's so key. If you just trade and never look at a chart again until the next morning, never look at your trade, never look at your screenshot, never analyze anything until the next morning, you're not going to make it long term. I just highly feel that way. Sorry if that sounds bad, but I just feel like that's what it takes. Max, you made $13.50 today, but a win is a win. I'm done trading, and I have positive confirmation that my trading strategy actually works if I don't tilt. Yeah, that's what you want. That's the way to look at it. Look at the silver lining. Look at the win. There's been times where, so many times where either I get break even, a small win, no trade, but the market did what I anticipated, what I thought, and that's a win right there. Like, that's a big time win, because most people can't do that. Yeah, we'll hit the nail on the head there. As long as you're green. Green is green. The truth hurts sometimes, yeah, especially in a industry where 5 to 10% succeed. That's and you have to be true to yourself if you're teaching anybody or helping, coaching, accountability partner, whatever it is, you got to be real. Ask Chris. I have sometimes I'm super hard on myself, but there's a lot of times where I'm like Chris will probably tell you, like, it feels like I'm being hard on him, but I'm like, no, like this is real. Like, it's the truth. I'm being real here. Like, if I'm not a friend, I'm not going to be real. I'm just like, oh, it's okay. No, like, it's the truth. A 5 to 10% success rate in an industry means you got to be super real. You can't sugarcoat anything. You can't, you just got to be real with it. Like, or else you're not going to succeed. There's no way around that. It might be less than 1%, but the industry standard is really 90 to 95% fail. Prop firms, though, that's less than 5%, to be honest. Less than 5% make it to payout, for sure. All right, well, how did everybody else do? Did anybody get this short? Did anybody jump the gun and go long? Man, I hate that I did that, but you know what? I usually know better, and that's why I usually see this entry was 9:38. I rarely take a trade within that first 10 minutes. It is what it is. Munch, I'm with you 100%, man. You know how many times I talk about that on videos or live streams or anything? My little reels that I do sometimes. You can't, man, I just don't, I don't feel like you can, if you're not 100% in, if you treat it like a hobby, like, I don't even think you could treat it like a hobby and be profitable long term. Like, I really don't. Like, after 6 years of doing this, man, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I've done, I've been in real estate deals, flipping houses. I bought small apartment complexes in the past. I've done like a lot of different investing and different things and different businesses I've started that's failed. And dude, like, trading is the number one hardest thing. And anybody that just kind of, half-asses it is not going to make it. Like, even if they're like, oh, I just want to make a little bit of money. No, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't, in my opinion. You might make a little bit of money here and there, but you're going to smoke that account. In futures, anyways. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, if you want to buy stocks, you never lose until you sell, that type of thing. But that's different. If that's what you want to do, yeah, learn to trade a little bit. Go buy some stocks. Sell it when it goes up 5-10%. Buy it back, buy the dip, right? Don't sell if it's in a negative. Just continue to hold, buy good companies. Like, yeah, that's good. That's fine. You can do that. But if you're talking about futures, you better be all in, buddy. Shadow tried to short it twice, got stopped, then got stopped on the long. Oh, so he shorted before the long. Got stopped, then got stopped on the long, but I made it all back, and then some on the short. Okay. So, my question is, Shadow, you shorted before. Was that pre-market then? You were trading pre-market? Corey caught some of it, but was watching yesterday's stream by accident. Oh. That's the downfall, I think, also of me having, well, maybe not, because I tried to like schedule all my streams for this week, and I think it worked out well, but I was afraid if anybody accidentally clicks on the wrong date, especially like whenever I started my streams, I was even like, all right, let me make sure I have the right date here. CL is nuts right now. Yeah, it is. I don't even want to. I don't want to deal with that. Like, I've thought about, I've talked about a lot actually. of trading other markets in the past, but I'll just get too wrapped up. Yeah, CL is up another 8. Man, that it's been having like 10% swings down and up every day. It's very similar to what silver was doing that time. Parabolic and then 10% swings up and down every day. Oof. Yeah, just a few minutes before market open. Yeah. I got to set rules for myself because different sessions act different, right? Pre-market is typically not going to go on 60, 70, 80 point, 100 point runs. It can. Typically, it's not. So stops are typically smaller. And it's hard for me to sometimes just on the fly kind of adjust that in my head because I'm just so used to the New York morning session. But yeah. So I have to have hard rules for me. No pre-market, nothing before 9:30. And I really need to have that 11 a.m. stop. So nice. Yeah, profitable on your 2 PAs. Good. It's awesome. Yes, Max. Crude oil. CL. Yep. Anything in the oil and gas right now is just going nuts. Green is green. I'm going to pin a comment every morning in chat that just says green is green. Will keeps saying that. He's messing with me because he knows I hate that saying. I hate it so bad. And for those of you that don't know, the reason why I hate it so much is because there's such a thing, in my opinion. I always say my opinion because it's always my opinion. But there's such a thing as fool's gold. And that is a big problem for traders is fool's gold. And you break all these rules, you get stupid on your trading, but you end up green. So it's like, you feel good. Oh, and green is green. Well, green, at least I'm green for the day. It's like, yeah, but you're ignoring everything else that you really need to focus on to trade well, and you're focusing on the end result. And that is a disaster waiting to happen. And that's why I hate that saying, green is green. Sorry. If I ever offend anybody on this stream, just know it wasn't meant for you. An old mentor of mine used to always say that. I'm going to be as real as I can. I'm going to tell the truth. And if you get offended, just know it wasn't meant for you. Look at this again. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but see right here where I marked out this mitigation point? Look how it's staying there. Of course, we do still have this fair value gap staying in the lower half. So, like I said, I would expect if that's happening on a higher level, what I explained earlier, where you're having some higher institutions, bigger institutions, I should say, mitigate right here, then we should see it drop, create an inversion, and head down to Dr. Equal. Nightbot. Yeah, exactly, Will. Nothing worse than breaking your rules and winning. And, I've been very lucky with that my whole career of trading futures. 6 years in. You could say, like, it sucks because I always say I never get lucky. I never get lucky. It's a little frustrating, but in the end, it's good because anytime I do something stupid, I'm definitely paid for it. All 6 years, it's like I've never gone on tilt. I've never done anything stupid and like got a big win and like made money. Like, and I always say that. I'm like, man, there's some people that are just lucky. They end up lucky. And for me, it never works out. Now, the problem is I've always been hard-headed over my career and just keep thinking maybe one day I will get lucky. And when I have done something stupid, I'm like, come on, please just make me a little lucky this time. Just this time, and I won't do it again. That's when you're praying to the NQ gods or the trading gods. Oh, man. And it's like, nope. I never, but I'm that hard headed where it's just like, one day I'm going to get lucky. And it's almost like my subconscious makes me do something stupid just to try to get lucky. So I don't know if you want to be jealous of that. Oh, it's I bet you, it would be nice one day. Like I've never sat around a round table basically with a bunch of traders and told war stories. That'd be cool to do one day. I did when I went to the Apex Live event in 2022, I think it was. Was it 22? Yeah, I think it was in 2022. And we went to Dallas. That was the only time I actually sat in a room with a bunch of traders. And that was pretty cool. And then you had the kind of like the mingle afterwards and you talked to everybody. And that was really cool. Like I really enjoyed that. Talking to people, like actual traders, that are good traders or whatever. And not just being good, but like not your YOLO social media guys. And that was really cool. Sit around and talk about, the horror stories, the good stories. That was really cool. Invite Tori. Yeah. Yeah, we can invite some of these people. Actually, I did want to I have that on my list of things to do. Not talking about inviting Tori. She might be cool, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I actually want to set up. I want to do a conference. Like before I started live streaming again, I wanted to start doing some webinars and like really building community and put together a conference, just a traders meetup. Um, but now I'm live streaming. Like I still would love to do that. Set something up and just have a. But you run the risk. I've been to a lot of networking events, like in real estate and different ones, and it's very easy to cross the line of it just being like a social club and like people uh, turning it into just like a stupid party. I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but like it's not that I want it to just be like a productive thing or nothing, but it's just like I just I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Maybe y'all do. Fine, Will. I'll invite Tori if I do it. All right, so this is what we got the inversion. I mean, we got the inversion. We have this Sibby right here. We have one a little bit above. Maybe we might not make it to it. I don't know. But I would expect this to hold and then potentially get down to this Dr. Equal. I really want to name it Dr. Evil. I don't know. Just guess the showing my age. Some Austin Powers there. Bearish M. You knew it. I'm just jealous she bought a Ferrari. Yeah, baby. I'm jealous she bought a Ferrari and I don't have my Lambo yet to market to do my social media posts. I got to rely on AI in my Discord for my Lambo. I, them Austin Powers movies they are still hilarious. Sometimes I'll come across like it on TV or something, and they're just they're so funny and so inappropriate for today's day and age. Like I don't know. She cries more than I do. I don't know that they could come out with an Austin Powers type movie anymore. All right, y'all. I guess I'm going to get ready to head off of here soon. All right. I do want to see. I am curious to see what happens in this fair value gap right here. But look at the overshoot. I'm telling y'all, watch this. Watch right here. Look at this. Boom. Can't make this crap up. Y'all, like, I quit. ICT concepts. I don't care what nobody says. Look at that. Yeah, but she's crying. Yeah, exactly. Will. I want to cry in my Lambo. Y'all make me cry. Maybe I'll get a Lambo and wipe my tears on the suede seats. But look at this, guys. Like, look at this. Let's see. What's the opening of this candle right here? 706.50. Oops. Was that right? No. 702.50. What's the high of this wick? 702.75. One tick. One tick. Tears of joy. I just get my butler to wipe away my... Can't make this up. Man. Off this new week opening gap right here. You have a little volume imbalance right there. But like I said, I mean, this right here, if we're going to go short, should respect this SIBI. Overshot right to this order block. I mean, this might be an order block. I'm still not the best at identifying. Like, there's some that I'm like, that's for sure an order block. And then there's sometimes I'm like, like, y'all hear me say a lot of times potentially an order block. And that's because it might be one. I might not know for sure if it's one. Not because of me, because of my knowledge, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, I know this up close candle right here didn't make any high, so I wouldn't use that. But this one, this series right here, even though it didn't make a high, we did have a change in state delivery afterwards. So I would probably believe this would be an order block. And the way the market came right back up to it, overshot inside this fair value gap, tagged it and overshot this open by one tick and came back down, I would think it's an order block, and we're going to see it displaced right down to Dr. Evil. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's also why I've never traded order blocks. I've always wanted to, but I've never traded it because of that subjectiveness. But when I see this reaction like this, I'm like, yeah, that's right here. Like, this is, and look at that. I mean, man. See, and that's what I'm talking about earlier. That's the frustrating part, is when I feel like I can read this so well now. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be losing ever. But we know you were going to lose. So it's like, okay, how can I at least give myself the best chance? And everything I said earlier, I personally feel like that's giving myself the best opportunity. So I think I am going to roll with that. But like I said, I have tomorrow where I'm going to be here trading with everybody. And all next week I won't be. I'll be out. Even though I'm not streaming, I probably not even going to be able to touch a chart because we have a lot of games. So yeah, I'm going to have a good time to reflect on everything. I need that. And and just for the record, next week, just to talk about it, it's really cool because y'all know my son is in homeschool, and we have homeschool basketball nationals, national championship. Man, it is awesome. We have total, there's 416 teams, different age groups and all that. Within our division, basically, if you know what March Madness is for college, it's identical. It is so much fun. The bracket's the same. We have we start with 32 teams. It's basically starting like a round of 32. We go down from there all week, play games. I mean, we play at the college stadiums, and it gets loud. People come in with buckets, banging stuff. Like, it is loud. Some of the games are live streamed. So much fun. So much fun. His injury, it's doing a lot better. We're still like, it's going to be so close, and we're still sitting here like, please, like, hopefully it fully heals. His hand is still swollen, but it's coming down a lot. We're this week we've been mixing a lot of hot and cold, doing fist pumps and stuff, trying to get that swelling out of there. It's coming down a lot. We don't play till Monday, so we'll be traveling over the weekend, so hopefully it'll be ready by then. Thinking it will be. It's looking good. Nice, Shadow. Passed 150K end of day accounts. Sweet. That's awesome. That's also why I do like the end of day accounts a little better. Like, I've never had a problem with intraday trailing, but the end of day accounts, if you are going to let the trade kind of work its way around and fluctuate a little bit, it is worth having an end of day, in my opinion. But yeah, look at that. We're heading right down to Dr. Evil. And, I mean, it's worked exactly like it should. This would have been a really nice trade out of this. I would have liked that. I probably could have, since I didn't hit my target or my loss. Like, I could have taken another trade, but I don't know. I don't know why I didn't, to be honest. I guess also right now I really need this mental capital. I just need a win, I need some to start stacking some wins. So I really don't want to risk a lot right now. I want to start stacking wins, figuring out what I'm talking about, and then hey, get this puppy going again. And get them payouts going. All right, y'all. I'm gonna head out of here. It's my time. It is my time to head out. I hope y'all had a great day. I hope y'all got some type of nugget, some type of learning out of this stream. That's always my goal, at least provide something, some type of value, some type of learning material. I know there's a ton of people out there you could be learning from, so I definitely appreciate y'all being on the stream with me, just being here with me. So hit that thumbs up if you don't mind. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining. And as always, trade well, everybody. Take care.